The next appointment I had, so after that post-op appointment on the 28th, was on the 31st with my oncologist, and he wanted to just really talk about some of the blood work that had been done since I started treatment, because they are checking my blood work on a regular basis to make sure that it all looks good, that my blood platelets stay high, that my white blood cell count doesn't drop too low. All those things will definitely play a part in what they can continue to do treatment-wise for me. And so as of the 31st, he said that the blood work all looks good. Last week I did another set of blood work, and so I'll probably be finding out about that in the week to come, if everything is still looking good. But he did tell me that the blood work looking so strong, that things were going well, was a really positive sign. He also said that since I wasn't experiencing a lot of side effects from the chemo or the radiation, that was a positive sign as well. So he was pretty optimistic on the 31st about how I was handling treatment. And what I would say is that, when I look at that, my first question is, well, is that just due to my genetics and the genetic indicators or the genetic markers of the cancer itself? Because I think I'd mentioned in one of the prior videos that the each cancer comes with its own genetic structure, and each one responds differently to treatment. So I wondered, is it about that? Is it a result of the supplemental treatments I'm taking, the ivermectin and the fenbendazole and some of the other vitamins and the intermittent fasting, things like that? Or was it just an answer to prayer? I've had a lot of people praying for me, and my heart tends to lean towards the God side of things. I've seen God's hand on me through this entire process, realizing that I should have died probably within 24 hours before going into the hospital, and I was really that bad off. And the fact that God saw me to the hospital in somewhat of a miraculous way, when I easily could have not gone that day, and yet He had me go. He got me there, and they were able to do the surgery immediately within that less than 24 hours. And so I see God's hand on me through this whole process. So when I think about, I'm doing well with the treatment, I'm responding well, I'm not having all the side effects, for me, is it a God thing? Just as much, or if not more, than the treatments that I'm doing? Is it God working through the treatments? And the one thing, that I've kind of come to, that I've really, I've given a lot of thought about, it's not that I hadn't ever thought about this before, but, just thinking about this to share with all of you, is that I do think it is an answer to prayer. And because God Himself is the creator and the sustainer of all things. We see this in the book of Colossians, in chapter 1. It says, "For by Him all things were created, in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities. All things were created through Him and for Him." So all things were created for Him, by Him, and it makes Him not just the creator, but He sustains those things as well. We see this as predominant themes in Hebrews chapter 1 and in Psalm 104 as well. And a verse that's been very encouraging to me since all this began was 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 10, where it says, "And after you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace, who has called you to his eternal glory in Christ, will himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you. And he is before all things, and in him all things hold together." In him all things hold together. So he is the thing that keeps things from just unraveling and falling apart. And that's coming from somebody who has cancer, a cancer that's aggressively trying to destroy my brain. But I believe that God is in control of that. And if there were no God, and if he was indifferent to my situation, I would have died. I would have died weeks ago. And so for those of you who are got your own struggles and trials, I would just encourage you to lean upon the Lord and to trust in him during these difficult times, because at the end of the day, his word is clear, and he's the creator, he's the sustainer, and he's the one that gives us hope. Psalm 41:3 says, "The Lord sustains him on his sickbed, and in his illness you restore him to full health." So does that mean that God will heal everybody? That God will restore everybody? Of course not, because people get sick and die. And I'm not any more guaranteed a healing from God of this cancer than the next person that has a glioblastoma. I'm just not. But I do believe that these positive signs of healing through the treatment and the positive results I'm seeing, whether they don't bring about a complete healing, or they just help me to have a better experience during the treatment, that's a God thing. And that's where my belief is, that's where my faith is, and my hope is in that. So Christian, if you're also struggling with something, be encouraged. And for those of you who don't know the saving forgiveness of Christ, I pray that you would seek him during your difficulties and your trials, so that you might have hope as well. So where do we go from here? I guess I probably should share the big one for me is that on February 3rd, I began losing hair. And so even if you watch this video from my last one, which had been, probably a good week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, you'll notice my hair is starting to look different. And I had a lot of hair to begin with, so I had a lot to lose. But as these videos go on, there's going to be a lot less of it. So just wanted to share that with you, because it has started to come out pretty aggressively, and I can't say that by the next video I'll have even half as much hair. So that being said, the hair is really nothing. It's funny that the doctors often would bring it up as the first symptom, or not symptom, but consequence of treatment. And like somehow that people can't live without hair. Plenty of bald people out there in the world. And so it's just funny to me that that's the one that they would always go to and want to prepare you for. And like I said, I had a lot of hair. And so losing it is going to be a very different experience. But I can tell you this morning, as I was just washing my hair, it was just coming out in chunks. And so that's a reality for me. But honestly, it's the fatigue. I would lose all my hair tomorrow if I could get rid of this fatigue, because the fatigue is just slowing me down. It's making me less articulate. It's like making me less effective. But I also believe that the fatigue is keeping me from overextending myself so that my body can heal and fight the cancer. So I'm trying to understand that and accept that as a reality as well. And then the last thing I'd probably just share is that my vision has also begun to deteriorate a bit. They said that that could be a side effect of the radiation, and that I should wait until after I've completed the radiation before getting it looked at all. But I've just noticed from time to time my vision's really blurry, my eyes feel puffy, and so I'm a little bit more challenged at reading. I've had reading glasses for a number of years now for reading small print only. I just can't read really tiny print. But now I'm just struggling to read anything of any size. And sometimes I'm struggling just to see things under low light. And so I definitely know something's up with my vision. If there's any of you out there that have had cancer and gone through various treatments where your vision was affected, I'd love to hear your story. So, please leave a comment and tell me about what happened with you. Did it improve after you completed your treatment, or was it just something that became a part of who you were going forward? Vision's a tough one for me because I'm a visual learner, so I like to read, I like to take notes, and if my vision gets to the point where it's not of any use to me anymore, that will be very discouraging. So anyways, I think that's about it for this video, and I want to thank you again for tuning in. If you've subscribed to the channel, then you'll be getting regular updates of when I post. If you know of anybody who has been through cancer, something similar, brain cancer, specifically to my case that I could connect with, by all means, share with them my page. All I'm really trying to do is to make connections with other people out there who are struggling with cancer or have struggled with it in the past, who are fighting it, have fought it. Somebody that I can be an encouragement to, hopefully people that can be an encouragement to me. And so the more people that connect with me in this forum, it's helpful for me and potentially helpful for them. So please share your stories in the comments, and again, thanks for listening. I do appreciate it, and I just pray that you would have a blessed day. See you again soon.